Oh man, it is bad out there, guys. It is bad out there. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the absolute annihilation that we saw in the stock market today. But first, if you happen to like and enjoy this video, please feel free to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out, okay? All right, let's actually get into what's going on in the stock market, okay? So it's very simple. Well, actually, it's not simple, but here's what's happening. It's actually kind of complicated. So, obviously, we had that rally yesterday, right? And the reason why we had that rally, I knew that rally was going to be short-lived. I knew it. That's why I made that video telling you guys. I literally made a video yesterday saying England saved the stock market. It won't last long. And yeah, the next day, it it didn't last very long at all. It didn't even last 24 hours. We are absolutely seeing murder, she wrote, in the stock market. You guys are going to hear me say that phrase a lot because that just describes what's happening. People are really getting murder, she wrote. In the stock market. And so here's what happened. So like I said, yesterday, the Bank of England basically literally pivoted and that caused the stocks to rally. Now today, stocks are going down after UK Prime Minister Liz Truss defended her plan to cut taxes, even though critics said that it would worsen inflation, right? So Truss shrugged off criticism in a public appeal by the International Monetary Fund. Yes, even the International Monetary Fund stepped in and said, you need to stop this. And Liz is saying no, and she's doubling down. So the International Monetary Fund said, you need to scrap your tax plans. That's not good. And Liz Truss is doubling down and saying no. And part of that is why stocks are selling off today. And also Truss came out with a statement and said, she is willing to make difficult decisions in order to get the economy growing. Now, here's the other reason why the stock market is selling off, okay? There's actually a lot of things happening at once. Russia is another big part of it, okay? The war between Russia and Ukraine is a huge part of it. And so the news that we got today is Russia confirmed today that it will formally annex parts of Ukraine where areas held Kremlin orchestrated referendums on living under Moscow's rule. So basically, there are about 4 territories that Russia will be annexing, I believe, tomorrow. And that's not good because the war in Ukraine and Russia is escalating, and that can create a whole new wave of problems. And then here goes the ultimate reason, okay, why the market is down. It's actually because of the jobs report. Okay, let me explain that. So a better than expected jobs report, which we did get today on U.S. layoffs, bolstered the expectations, okay, that the Fed is going to continue hiking interest rates. And investors are worried about that because they're worried that it could hit the brakes on the economy too hard and cause a recession. So once again, we are getting those recession fears again that are escalating. And this is why you're seeing a lot of panic selling, because the market is trying to price all of that in. Remember, the market doesn't like uncertainty. So all this bad news that we're getting, the market is simply trying to price that in. That is why I've been saying buying here isn't so much of a bad idea, even though I am at this point, I'm willing to go there. I'm willing to say that I am 90% sure that the S&P 500 is going to fall lower and probably go to 3,300 if this happens. Let me be very careful. I am about 90% sure that the S&P will fall lower if this happens. Let me tell you guys what I'm talking about. So if we go ahead, we actually look at this chart right here. Remember, there's different moving averages that people like to go by. You have the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day moving average. I want to make sure that this moving average is not confused with the 200-day moving average, okay? So what's happening is this chart right here shows that the 200-week moving average, not the 200-day, but the 200-week moving average on the S&P 500 is getting close to being breached. We are approaching a very key resistance level on the S&P 500. That is the 200-week moving average. If we break that level, that is where I'm 90% sure that S&P will go much lower. We'll probably end up going to 3,300. Why do I say this, Echoes? Okay, I'll tell you guys right now. Mainly because this level has only been breached in 2001, tech bubble, 2008, okay, that the housing crisis and everything like that, and in 2020, which was the COVID market crash. Those are the only 3 times that the 200-week moving average on the S&P 500 has been breached, okay? Now, hopefully that area provides some support and we can bounce off and things will be somewhat okay. But I'm not too confident that's going to happen. As a matter of fact, I think it's unlikely. I think that the situation that we're in right now is extremely serious, and it's not exactly the same as 2008. However, we could see a 2008-like crash. I'm here to tell you that right now. That is what I honestly think. People are free to disagree, but that's what I see. We need to see the S&P 500 hold there. If it doesn't, look out below. It's going to be mud she wrote in the stock market if we fall below that level, because once again, we haven't seen that level get breached in a very long time. Obviously 2020 it was, so don't count that. But since 2008, 2001, that's a long time ago. There's another thing that I saw that came out. Morgan Stanley's Mike Wilson, among the most bearish of analysts on stocks, expects an acceleration in downward earnings revisions in coming months will push stocks lower, projecting that the S&P 500 will reach a range of 3,000 to 3,400 later this fall. I absolutely agree with Mike Wilson. You guys know I spent most of the year sitting in cash. Literally, I would get my checks from my job and the little YouTube money that I get or whatever. The money that I get from my job, I've just been stacking and stacking, building myself a bigger war chest, building myself a bigger emergency fund. And I've just been saving and saving and saving, getting ready for this exact moment right here. So again, you follow your own plan. Don't ever listen to anything a YouTuber says in terms of what exactly to do with your money. So again, I'm telling you what I'm doing. Because I've been saving cash since like April of this year, I've been really just stacking cash for months now. I am deploying cash at these levels. Yes, I do think we'll fall lower. But again, you can't time the market. So although I think we're going to fall lower, we're already so low right now. And I already see deals in individual stocks. And obviously you want to buy the S&P 500 that I got to put some cash to work. I got to. That's just where I'm at with this. So yes, I did buy some more stocks today. And if we keep falling, I'll keep buying. If we keep falling lower than that, I'll keep buying. There is nothing that is going to scare me out of this market. And that's what you need to understand. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, and we have to talk about this, is mental health, because I'm telling you right now, you guys know I've been talking about this on this channel a lot. Please, please, please take care of your mental health, because I'm telling you right now, what's coming next is the labor market is going to start to crumble. When the labor market crumbles, we're already seeing it now, which these things come in waves, but a big wave is coming. We're already starting to see massive layoffs coming. Matter of fact, Meta just announced some layoffs earlier. Not layoffs. They announced restructuring, and they're slowing on their freezing. But we'll talk about Meta in a later video. The bottom line is we are starting to see a lot of layoffs. Although the labor market still looks strong, the Fed, without a doubt, has already said that they want to They want to poke some holes in that. They want unemployment to go up. It's no doubt about it. They're going to force a recession, and what happens in recessions? Eventually, unemployment is going to rise. And so, again, I want to say this: please take care of your mental health. Please make sure you do whatever you can to hold on to your job. Make sure you have an action plan in case your job actually fires you, because again, there's no guarantee that your job is gonna keep you. If hard times come, your job is gonna do what's best for them. Unless you're like an executive, you're not safe. So that's something to keep in mind. Make sure you got an emergency fund. Make sure you're thinking into the future. Don't just think of, oh, what's going to happen yesterday or today or tomorrow. No. You need to think, what is the world going to be like, or my job situation going to be like in 3 to 6 months, in 12 months, in 2 years? You need to start thinking about that now. And again, the reason why I bring up mental health is because we got to remember, folks, during 2008, during that time, there was a study that came out where they actually went and tracked this. About 10,000 people committed suicide worldwide. And I'm here to tell you right now, unfortunately, as sad as it is to say, if things get as bad as I think they're going to get, we're going to see that again. And I just want to tell you guys right now, please make sure you're taking the necessary steps to protect yourself. There is going to be some pain. There is going to be some depression. There's going to be some upset people. It's going to be brutal, man. It's going to be brutal. That's all I can really say. So, don't do things where you're going to end up like the guy with Bed Bath & Beyond who freaking jumped from the 18th floor. Rest in peace to him. Take care of your mental health, therapy, whatever you got to do. I obviously I'm not a therapist, so I can't give the best advice. But the bottom line of what I'm trying to say here is things are going to get really bad. So just make sure you're preparing for that. Make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Make sure you're doing things that make you happy. And if you're in a situation where you're not happy, do the best thing you can to do what's best for you and get into a happy situation. Because I'm telling you right now, things are going to get bad. They're going to get worse, and the Fed ain't stopping. Okay. So anyway, there you guys have it. That will go ahead and conclude today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.